Welcome back out here to Somerset Place. For this edition of our Lost Building series, we're going to be talking about the Plantation Store, which would have likely been located somewhere in or near the barnyard area here along the transportation canal, because it was one of the first structures built on this plantation. And the Lake Company, in the beginning, actually employed a white man named Richard Houghton from February 1786 to December 1789 as both an overseer and an operator of the company store. So they were advancing specific articles to the lake here to be sold at this store to the workmen, to the overseers, and to other locals here in the community. Now, how long this store lasted, we don't know, but by the time that Josiah Collins III moved here in 1830, he was continuing with this plantation store as a means of both controlling and rewarding the enslaved community here. So if enslaved field hands were bringing in, harvesting all of their crops on time, they could get some small rewards from this plantation store as an incentive to work harder. But also enslaved persons could be trading their surplus corn that they grew in their communal garden to Josiah at this store here for some goods that he was offering. However, he was determining both the available quantity and the price of these goods that he was issuing here at the store. And so this was very much a means of him controlling the enslaved economy, because enslaved persons were forbidden from trading with anybody other than him. And so he was very much limiting their contact with the outside world, and also as a means of incentivizing them to work harder to be producing these surpluses for him. Now, the goods that these enslaved persons could be getting at the plantation store likely included household items, fancy cloth, knives, fishing gear, those sorts of things. And Josiah was also selling wheat flour at this store that enslaved people grew on the plantation to poor local whites, because the only other stores in the area were either on the adjacent Banarva plantation or over 20 miles away in Plymouth. Josiah could also import large quantities of goods cheaply here to the store. Things like farm tools and manufactured items, household objects, knives, clothing, fishing gear, gunpowder. All of these things Josiah could purchase in large quantities cheaply and also ship them to the plantation cheaply and then sell them here at the store to make money for himself. And most of these goods, they were being sold on credit, which ensured that these poor local farmers were perpetually indebted to him. So Uriah Bennett, an enslaved field hand here, he remembered that, quote, the poor white people who did not have land enough to support them would come and work for Collins and take earnings in trade like flour and other things they needed. They sold chicken and eggs to pay the difference that their labor did not pay for. So Uriah's quote shows that these poor whites were buying all of these goods on credit. Josiah was the only source of credit for these people, which means that he was very much controlling their economy. And we have numerous receipts in his account books that indicate that he was purchasing 1 or 2 chickens or batches of eggs at a time, further supporting what Uriah is saying that these poor whites are doing. He was also purchasing shingles and corn and crops that these poor whites were growing on their own farms as well, because he could ship all of these things out of the plantation cheaply. And so the transportation canal was very much a central part of this plantation store. And so Josiah was really using this store as a means of not only controlling the enslaved community, but also controlling the local poor population as well. And so that's a little bit about the plantation store here. If you have any questions about this video, please comment below. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos, and we hope that you'll join us out here for a guided tour to learn more about life at Somerset Place.